Hello guys, my name is Laura. I am the TM responsible for ISEC in Finland, which means that I'm your MCVP TM. And today I want to talk with you about the Blue Code. I don't know if you have heard about the Blue Code before or not, but if you're here watching this video, probably you are either LCVP TM, which means that you are in charge of team standards implementation in your LC, or you are a VP and you're leading a team. So here you're going to find out more about team standards, how to implement them, and how to use the Blue Code actually for you to implement team standards. I'm not going to go deep into the process of how to implement each one of the team standards, but I'm going to explain you how to use the Blue Code to clarify any kind of needs or doubts that you have about team standards implementation. So let's go forward and see first of all what does the Blue Code contain. First of all, this code is going to give you any information that you need for you to implement team standards, but also to know how to work with the ISEC values and the ISEC competences. So therefore, the Blue Code is structured in three main chapters. First is the team behaviors. So what should be the behaviors that you should have in your team in order to develop competences, ISEC competences in your members, and what are the team standards and how to implement them. And at the end, there's a very, very useful calendar that explains how to actually when you should implement each stage of the team standards, each phase. So let's go for the first part, which is the team behaviors. I don't know if you have heard about ISEC competences or the core competences before. These are basically a set of competences that we want to develop in our members for them to be prepared to achieve their goals and to have the right mindset in order for us as an organization to achieve ISEC 2020. So these are four competences. First one of them is agility, and this mainly reflects how we act in front of problems. So for us to understand agility better, or for us to understand any of these competences, here you have three types of three little explanations of how this behavior or this competence would look like in practice. So for agility, we are agile in solving problems. So how fast are you in solving a problem? We crave progress constantly. So this basically refers to the idea that we are not doing what we are doing to stagnate or to be mediocre, but actually we want to progress in our actions every day. And then we are flexible and improve when needed. So not finding a solution and only going with that solution until the end, even if it doesn't bring any result. This is agility explained very briefly. Then the second competence is growth. This basically refers to how we look at our actions and if we have a growth mindset inside of the organization. In practice, having a growth competence means that you are able to improve your performance through making sustainable decisions. So in your actions, you don't only think about short-term gains, but you think about a longer path and maybe how your actions today is going to influence the next semester or your successor or the longer-term performance of your team or LC. Then we are accountable to one another, and we are grounded with facts and data to achieve common goals. We are not going to take decisions based on assumptions, but actually we need to collect data in order to look at the data and what the data is telling us for us to take decisions. Then empathy, this refers a lot to how we treat our customers and how we deal with one another in a team. We put our customers first. This would be the first behavior that shows that we have an empathetic competence developed. We value the opinion of others in our teams, and we help each other grow. And the last one is eagerness. Translated into behaviors, eagerness would look like this. We place our focus on goals that matter, so not wasting your time with goals that are actually not relevant for what you want to achieve. We contribute to achieve our ambition, so being a constant contributor in your team and in your LC. And we dare to go the extra mile when needed. So not settling for little in terms of strategies or behaviors that you have in order to achieve your goal. These are the core competences, and these are the behaviors and competences that we strive to develop in our membership in order for them to be able to perform and to enjoy their experience as well. Now let's go to the team standards, how to. So the next 9 pages are going to explain you. First, you have an overview of the team standards phases. So this is the building phase, performing and closing. As you know, we are not in all the phases at the same time. So according to the timeline of your team, first you're going to be in the building phase for about 3 weeks. And then while being in the building phase, you're going to shift slowly to being in performing phase. And this is the phase of the team standards that we spend the most time in during our semester. And then at the end of the semester, we are going to close our team experience and have reallocations. So new teams are going to come to life. And then you need to implement all of these team standards to facilitate the transition between one team and the other. The next 9 pages, as I was saying, are going to explain you how to literally implement each one of the standards and when to do it. So you're either going to find here the explanation of the standard or some tips in how to implement it, or help. Maybe you need help from someone else from your LC to do it. But everything that you need to know and everything that you need to read in order for you to understand the team standards is here. As you can see, each page has to do with each sub phase of the team standards. So this one is just for the individual plan as the last part of the building phase, and then we go to the performing for results elevation, performance tracking, support system, and then for the closing phase, first team debrief, transition, and individual debrief. So I'm not going to go into reading these things because you can do it by yourself, and maybe you can spend as much time as needed for you to understand maybe this team standard that you struggle with, or something that is relevant for the timeline in your LC right now. But please check this material and read everything that you need in order to understand. If you want to see some do's and don'ts, you can also check this link with some good case practices. And now going for the last part, which is the calendar. Okay, so this calendar starts with the moment that the team leader is selected. At the moment in ISEC in Finland, we do not work with team leaders. So whenever you see team leader, that person should actually be the vice president, because the vice president manages the members of the area. So in the first 2 weeks, as I was telling you before, we start with the building phase and then we shift to performing. What is interesting and what I really like is that here, this is the routine that is suggested and that should take place in general months in the performing phase. And then here you have the routine for the first month after the quarter is finished. So please read carefully what should you do in which week of your team experience. And this is going to give you a lot of clarity on how to run your team in order for them to perform and enjoy their experience at the same time. So see, this is the shift happening from the performing to the closing phase. And then after the team ends, you have here some suggestions of what you should do. I really like the blue code because it's really, really straight to the point, powered by ISECers to build other great ISECers. I hope you're going to access the PDF file that I'm going to attach next to this video. And if you have any other question, you have my contact on the website, so don't hesitate to contact me. I hope you enjoyed the video and see you in the next videos.